genel izleyici kitlesi için uygundur.
Sevgili izleyiciler, Ekotürk ekranlarından herkese merhabalar. Spor Borsası için bugün Staffroom adlı organizasyona geldik ve kendisiyle, sahibiyle, aynı zamanda da başkanıyla görüşeceğiz organizasyonun. Thank you so much for accepting us, Frederik. How are you? How are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you, and thank you for having me here.
So we just came here yesterday, and today is the second day of the organization. Can you tell us about Staffroom, what is the mission and your goal?
Absolutely. So Transroom is an online marketplace that connects clubs, agencies, and players around the world. It was started 6 years ago. Initially was open for clubs only, and then 3 years ago it was opened up for trusted agencies as well. And what we do is we allow clubs and agencies from around the world to share real-life market data on requirements, players that they're looking for, either from a recruitment perspective or outplacement perspectives. And then other clubs can see the ads, they can pitch their players, and so can agencies. So basically the mission is to provide real-time market data, break down transfer barriers, and connect decision makers from clubs and agencies with each other.
So is this your first time in Istanbul the event take place in Istanbul, in different cities for the different years? Like, what was the thing you've been before?
Yeah, so we have, over the course of a year, we typically have a handful of events, a mix of virtual events and face-to-face events. But these events are used, you could say, as the offline version of what Transfer Room does on the marketplace online. Football is very much a people business, and it's very important to build relationships and meet face-to-face. So what we do at these events here is we allow all the decision makers to come together, have networking sessions, one-on-one meetings, discuss transfer targets, and so on. We typically visit different cities. It's the first time we're in Istanbul and Turkey, and so far we are very, very happy to be here, and it's a great event. It's actually the biggest event we've ever had.
Perfect. So how many people is here right now?
So over the course of these 2 days where the event takes place, we have more than 300 clubs from more than 50 countries and more than 80 different leagues around the world. And then on top you have nearly about 100 trusted agencies. So in total over these 2 days, it's more than 500 decision makers.
It's great, seriously. I never see myself, seriously, in United States, also in Europe. I never seen that kind of organization. And when I'm seeing outside the tables and the organization, it seems really different. Like they're having one-on-one meeting and then 15 minutes break, and then groups are changed. And what was the style actually?
Yeah, so what you're referring to is all the one-on-one meetings that they're taking place, and you can almost see it a little bit like speed dating. It is a concept where each meeting takes 15 minutes, the bell rings, and then you move on to another meeting. What happens before that is that all the people, all the clubs and agencies who are signed up, they can share meeting requests with each other. So if I'm a football club from Brazil, I can share a meeting request with a club from Japan, and then you will have a 15-minute meeting during the event. So during these 2 days, you have a calendar that's very packed. Some customers have maybe 25 different one-on-one meetings over these 2 days. So it's a lot of speed dating, but it's also very valuable because it means you can meet with other clubs and agencies from all over the world in 2 days instead of traveling around for weeks and weeks.
Yeah, so is there any transfers after here, like the success stories you want to share with us?
Yeah, so obviously it's still too early to say what success stories will come from this event here because we're still live. Historically, and when we look at the data, we can see that on average a club or an agency that participates, they typically do about one deal or a little more than one deal at the event. So you can imagine on the back of this, and as we move into the winter window, there will probably be quite a lot of deals in the market that started here at the Istanbul event, where the first discussions took place. Maybe the deal happens in 2 weeks, or maybe it happens in 3 or 4 months. But it started here with the first discussions.
So thank you, Frederik. As a vice president, you also own another Staffroom. It's powered by Transfer Room. Is it an organization, and it's merging with that Staffroom?
So Staffroom is our brand new product launch that we launched yesterday when we started the event here. And it's a new product. It's all developed and it's under Transferroom, but it's separate from the current Transferroom platform. And what I mean by that is, if you're an existing customer today, a football club or a trusted agent, you have access to the Transferroom platform where you can go and do the things I talked about before. Staffroom is a separate platform that focuses on off-pitch recruitment. So where Transferroom is all about how you move players, you either recruit or outplace the football players you need, then Staffroom is about how do you build the team in your club that needs to give you success on the pitch. So how does a club find a new sporting director? How does a club find a new chief scout? How does a club find a new loan manager? This is what you can do on Staffroom. So it's basically a portal for clubs to look for people that they're missing off the pitch as part of their team. And if you're an industry professional, so if you currently work for a club, it's also an opportunity for you to see what's in the market and what opportunities are out there.
So Frederik, is there any rules of this event? Because such big event, like kind of 100 countries and people, is there any rules based on the transfers or the talks or the meetings, like, you know, they have to follow, right? So what was that?
Yeah, so obviously, I think first of all, it's important to say that our events here and the access to our events is only for existing customers. So we don't have customers who aren't part of Transferroom already. Everything that happens on the platform digitally today is obviously confidential information. It's only customers who can see it. And similarly, the conversations that are happening live here offline are similar in confidentiality what they do on the platform. So everyone who comes here knows and understands and respects that these are the talks you're having with peers and with other clubs and agencies who are customers like yourself. But other than that, there's no specific rules. People behave, they do like they would normally do in other meetings and networking sessions.
So as just because of my curiosity, so it is also a benefits for the members, and it's like any privileges for them for not only this event, but in general for a football industry.
Yeah, and sorry, by members you mean clubs?
Yeah,
or?
In clubs also as a person, like if I just be a member for Transferroom and just register, then what I will get from there.
Yeah. So if you're a football club, I think that the main benefit Transferroom gives you, of course, it gives you that access to real-time market intelligence. It allows you to see and understand what clubs all around the world are looking for right now, if they're looking to recruit a player or looking to sell a player or loan out a player. So if you're a club from Turkey, it would maybe normally be very difficult for you to find out in this moment in time whether a club in Brazil or Uruguay is looking for a player that you are maybe trying to sell. Because how would you otherwise find out? You would need to look in your own contacts, go through various persons. So the main benefit is the access to the market data. The second benefit is that you get to interact directly with decision makers. Maybe you're a sporting director from a Turkish club. You can reach out directly to the sporting director in a club in Argentina that you don't know already. So those are really key benefits. It means that you're never missing out on an opportunity because you know always what's happening in the market.
Okay, so just as a closing part, what do you think about Turkish football, Frederik? As a, you are in this industry in management way, but what do you think about Turkish football and also transfers from Europe and from Arabia, Saudi Arabia? I mean, what was the potential came to Turkey?
I'm a big fan of Turkish football, first of all. I love the fan culture. I love the emotions and the excitement. I think the quality of football in Turkey is very high. When we look at our data, we can see that if we zoom in on the Super League in Turkey, we can see over the last 10 to 12 years that it has gone from being around number 20, 22 in terms of the best leagues in the world, and today it's up as number 8. So a lot of strong development has happened there. That's because Turkish clubs are recruiting very good players from outside, but it's also because you have a lot of talent in Turkey that you're developing. So the quality of football in Turkey is definitely going the right way. The quality of the coaches in Turkey is also increasing and very high. And then you have a fantastic fan atmosphere. You have great stadiums. I think Istanbul is the second city outside of London with most teams in the best league. So football is part of your culture, and really, really like that. I think there's a lot of potential.
Great. And Frederik, is this your first time to Istanbul, or you came back before?
I have been here once 12 years ago privately, and I'm a big fan of coming back. The atmosphere and everything here is very exciting.
Perfect. Have you been any team? Like, do you have any favorite football team here in Turkey so far?
I try to stay a little bit unbiased and objective. Unfortunately, I couldn't attend the games on Sunday because we were preparing for this. I did go to see the Besiktas Stadium last night. Beautiful stadium. So I think, all the clubs in Turkey I follow.
And also, we are talking as a closing. I promise this is the closing, but we're talking about like the financial for the football clubs and the, players and whatever transfers. So you are in the same industry that you want to tell us. Is there any economic problems in football industry?
I think what has obviously happened, if you look over the last 10 years, is that every club around the world was impacted a lot during COVID. So even if we zoom in on Turkey, but also other leagues, clubs were impacted by the fact that they couldn't have people coming to watch the games, which impacted the transfers and the economic situation of the clubs. Most clubs and the transfer market have rebounded now. We can see that even in Turkey as well, where the spend and the income on transfers is back to historic levels. The same with many of the other big leagues. In general, I think football is in a situation where it's the global number one sport. It always benefits from people wanting to see it, and even if the global economic situation is a little bit under pressure, most people still want to go to football games and follow their team. So in that sense, there's always going to be a relatively strong economic situation, but obviously it's down to the clubs individually how they manage their own finances, and some clubs are better than this than others. But in general, I think football is in a fairly good state.
And it's also fun culture and football tourism in the same area, right? People go and see for different countries, for different games, matches, whatever. Thank you so much. This is the last day. Before we say goodbye, what's your expectation for Istanbul event?
My expectation and hope is that, first of all our customers have been here, have found it a great experience. I think they will all say it's been really positive. It's also been exciting because we launched Staffroom live here, so that's a new big product for them to engage with. And we know that it's the event with the most one-on-one meetings, most clubs, most attendees. So I also think there's going to be more deals and success stories coming out of it.
Also for Staffroom, is there any goal in your mind right now to share with us?
So the goal is right now for us to connect as many industry professionals as possible. We want people in clubs to go and claim their profile, start to use it. We would like our clubs to start using it actively when they're looking to recruit new staff. It's only 24 hours old, so it's early to say.
It's a newborn baby.
It's a newborn baby, but we hope over the next 3, 4, 5 months that it will become a big success.
We wish you good luck for that, and I don't believe that you need a luck, but I hope it's going to be well as Transferroom did.
Thank you so much.
So just one message for Turkish people before we close. Is there any message? Or do you speak some Turkish words, no?
Turkish words I don't speak, unfortunately. No specific message other than I think you have a great country, you have a great historic culture. Football is a core part of what you do, and I love football and we work in football, so it's definitely not the last time we are here.
Yeah, football unites.
Yes.
Thank you so much Frederik. Thanks a lot. Sevgili izleyiciler, Ekotürk ekranlarında, Transferroom'da burada pek çok kulübün ve aynı zamanda futbol profesyonelinin de bulunduğu bu organizasyonun İstanbul ayağında organizasyon başkanı Frederik'le çok keyifli bir sohbet ettik. Bir sonraki bölümde görüşmek üzere. Hoşça kalın.